What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. So after a weekend of watching Dogecoin like a maniac, listening to Saturday Night Live, Elon Musk, all this anticipation, and now that it's over, we can talk about some stocks. We're going to go over a bunch of stocks in this video, talk about my thoughts on the markets. We'll break down some technicals quickly on SPY and on QQQ. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee, and let's get right into the video. So overall, you all should know at this point in time that the S&P 500 hit an all-time high last week. Yup, you heard that right. All-time high. And that was hit above 4,200. Yeah, you guys can see it here. 4238.04 was that all-time high. And on SPY, you can all see as well that we're breaking out of 418.50, 420, and now we're trading above 422. And at this point in time, guys, look, there's no resistance because obviously we're at all-time highs. But what I could see happening here is, well, I guess you can say there is a resistance. If we look on the intraday chart, 422.80 to 423, that is a short-term resistance from Friday. But if we end up breaking that, I believe we'll see a run on SPY, maybe even a 425. 430 would be completely pushing it, I'd say. But who knows? Then again, we could go to 430. But I'm thinking 425 SPY, and then we'll see either consolidation a little bit, and maybe we get a little bit of a pullback after that. But overall, I'm playing this like a breakout play, as in there could be more upside in the short term because the RSI, although it is pretty overbought, I mean, it's gotten more exhausted from where it is now in the past. I mean, back a couple weeks ago, the RSI was hitting 80, 85, so I think it could push a little bit more, so watch out for that on SPY. And of course, we'll see what the futures market is looking like. At this point in time, it's closed, but when you guys are watching this video, the futures market will be open, so let me know in the comments what we are looking like. Are we green? Are we red by a big margin? Are we breaking even? You know, let me know in the comments what things are looking like. And overall for QQQ, very simple, guys, right? This 4-hour chart shows a couple of key levels. One of them's at 335. That was support in the middle of April towards the end of April. We closed under that level on Friday, so that's a big resistance for this week. Another big level is 342, which is the all-time high here on QQQ. So very simple. If we end up gapping out of this 50 SMA resistance here on the 4-hour chart, I'm thinking QQQ will rally even more, maybe 1-2% more, and that would get it to that 342 level. And remember, the NASDAQ stocks, QQQ, hasn't done as well as SPY, and it hasn't recovered as nicely as SPY has or as the Dow has, right? You guys can see the Dow here also hit an all-time high, 34,800. That is ridiculous, right? We can see here the Russell has been moving as well, although the Russell hasn't moved as much as SPY or the Dow. So watch out for this breakout on QQQ that we just talked about. And for the Russell, watch this wedge on the 4-hour, right? We see this wedge forming. We obviously held a higher low on Friday above the 180 SMA here on the 4-hour chart. And maybe the Russell ends up breaking out. Maybe it goes towards 23, maybe the mid 2300s, and we could end up playing IJR if that does end up happening, which is an ETF that I own. It tracks the Russell pretty much, and I've been buying this thing, well, not recently. I've held it since the 70s, mid 70s, low 80s, right? That's where I was buying, and I think there could be upside in this as a trade, right? From about 113, 115 plus, that is where I think it could end up going. So what are your thoughts on the markets, guys? Let me know down below in the comments section, and let's break down some stocks. And first and foremost, a little side note here, gold and silver, these two have been doing well as inflation fear is here, right? The inflation fear has been here, and it's going to remain here, in my opinion, for the short-term future for sure, and maybe even for an extended period of time. We'll end up seeing how that plays out. So silver's running up, gold's running up. We're watching gold stocks. I mention these all the time, but I don't want to break them down every video because that'll get repetitive. But watch out for those. And I'm looking at the VIX. The VIX, as you guys can see, went down about 10% on Friday. That really goes to show that volatility is obviously dying down. Fear is dying down in this market. And I'm going to be looking to see if it pushes into the mid-15s again, right? That is where it was back in the middle of April. So watch for the VIX activity. If we get anything above 17, 18 in the pre-market tomorrow, maybe we're going to see a pump in volatility, maybe a bit of a red start of the day. Who knows? We'll see how the VIX ends up going down tomorrow. And now let's get into some stocks. And let me pull up this screenshot very quickly. I forgot to send this to my iPad, so give me a second. I have to do a quick airdrop here. Okay, here we go. So you guys can see this is from Earnings Whispers. I follow them on Instagram. I love the way they outline this stuff. And no, I'm not sponsored. You guys know that. I just follow this for the earnings updates, right? And tomorrow we have Workhorse, we have Virgin Galactic, we have Novavax, Roblox, we have what else tomorrow? Inovio, we have Palantir on Tuesday, Jumia on Tuesday, Fubo TV, LMND, Open Door, Sundial, QuantumScape, all on Tuesday. And oh, there's EA. I actually didn't even realize EA was reporting this week till just this second, so that's going to be fun. On Wednesday, we have Tattooed Chef, which I'm going to be very, very excited about. I'm definitely going to make a video on Tattooed Chef probably on Wednesday or Thursday. And on Thursday, we have Alibaba, we have XPeng, we have Disney, Airbnb, Bionanogenomics, we have Blink, we have DoorDash. So Thursday is going to be probably the biggest day of this week, and maybe Tuesday. It depends. Are you guys in LMND, Palantir, Fubo, Jumia? I know those are pretty popular stocks. I'm not in any of those, so I mean, hey, I guess I'm more excited for Thursday because Thursday I actually own some of those stocks. Well, one of those stocks being Disney, and then on Friday, I'm not seeing much of anything on Friday that I'm excited about. So overall, that is what we expect for earnings this upcoming week. So let's break down some of these stocks. I mean, number one we have here is Palantir. And like I said, I don't own Palantir, and maybe one day I will own Palantir. Look, if it does end up dipping deeper into the teens, I might even start adding a position in this, right? As a longer term growth play, I think this could be a good opportunity. And I know a lot of you guys were buying in the mid to high 20s. Maybe some of you all were buying even in the 30s or 40s, which would be pretty rough right now, not going to lie. And it looks like the descending triangle that we were talking about and mentioning many times these past couple of weeks, it's playing out, and it's playing out pretty nicely, right? And again, if you're in at $30, $35, even in the mid 20s, this is not the best pattern that you'd want to see, but it's the reality of the matter here. We were holding $20 pretty much all of March, all of April, and heading into the beginning of May a little bit, right? So that was the rock solid support, $20. And you guys can see as we were holding $20, we were making lower highs the entire time, from $45, $38, $26, $25, $24, and we were under the moving averages as well, both the 50 and the 180 SMAs, and we saw the death cross a couple weeks ago in the beginning of March, right, which signaled more selling. That's kind of what that ends up showing us. When we see a death cross, the 50 SMA crossing under the 180 SMA, not always, but a lot of the time, that is a sign that there's going to be some bearish momentum, at least in the short term, right? And it ended up being for about 2 months. And now that we're breaking 20, that descending triangle is playing out. And that is why I'm thinking it could end up going maybe not the mid-teens, like 15, 14. That might be a bit unrealistic. But if it goes to 18, 19, low 19s, I would not be surprised. Heck, maybe even 17s. And it all depends on their earnings report. Let's be honest. That report is on Tuesday, on the 11th, so we have to be very in tune for that. And if it breaks back above 20, that would be good for the bulls. And honestly, anything above $23 would be good for the bulls. And if we get out of the descending triangle resistance in general, that'd be good. But as of now, we're not doing that. And again, we had a red good day on Friday, and we're breaking under 20. We're at 1975 right now, so that is a bit worrisome and leads me to believe, at least from a technical perspective, we could be going lower here. So the second stock we have here is Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA, and it's pretty much the same pattern as Palantir, but this one's a bit more drawn out. Alibaba's been descending here ever since October. It's been making lower highs, right, from 320 to 267 to 240, and now most recently in the lower 200s, right, 220, 230, right around there, and we've held 220 despite making lower highs. So we've held 220 pretty nicely ever since December, but again, we're still making those lower highs with earnings coming up on the 13th. So Alibaba must be watched this week. You know, I've owned Alibaba in the past. Now I don't own anymore. And maybe I do end up buying into Alibaba again if we somehow break 220. I think that is going to be a key spot, right? Again, because that's been the support for months. So if we break 220, the descending triangle plays out. Do we go to low 200s? Do we go to 205, 210? I think that could end up happening, and that'd be a pretty good value, especially if you want to own some Chinese stocks. You don't have any China exposure in your portfolio, right? So I'm watching out for Alibaba. Earnings coming up here on the 13th. So what day is that? That's probably Thursday, right? So Thursday, Alibaba is reporting, and then we have DoorDash as well as Airbnb reporting this week. And a lot of these patterns, guys, they're not looking too great. I mean, they're all bearish for the most part. This one's making lower lows and lower highs. And this stock goes to show why buying on IPO day may not be the best idea. And sometimes, yes, it does work in the short term and in the long term. But a lot of the time, these IPOs, they end up going down a ton in the short term. And maybe in the long term, a lot of them, obviously, they don't pan out at all, right? And we can see DoorDash here, not saying it's going to fail long term, but in the short term, we can see how it's gotten squashed. This IPO'd at about 190. You guys can see here, that was back in December. It went down to about 140. It got its little hype to about 220, and now it's at $120. It is down well over from its high right here. It's down 50+%. From the IPO day, it's down about 37%, and they report earnings tomorrow, guys, right? Or no, that's actually on Thursday as well. So Thursday is a big day, and I'm thinking we could get some sort of bounce back on DoorDash. I feel like if it goes lower, especially into earnings, maybe about 115, 110 or something. Let's say we take the low out from last week, and let's say we get a decent earnings report. You have to ask yourself, I mean, how much lower can this thing go in the short term? It might have a lot of the bad news already priced in, you know, the opening of the economy, and we're seeing less people maybe doing DoorDash, so that's obviously a bad thing for DoorDash. I mean, sure, there's always going to be people using DoorDash, but now that they can go to restaurants, they can go out, maybe DoorDash won't be used as much, and that could be priced into the stock at this point. And maybe if we get earnings that are pretty solid or maybe even surprising, and it makes Wall Street go like, oh, okay, maybe people are still ordering from DoorDash. Who knows? We could end up getting a pump in the stock, maybe back up to the mid hundreds. So I don't own DoorDash. You know, I'm not looking to buy it either, quite frankly. No way I'd buy this as a long-term investment. I'm not knocking DoorDash, but I just don't want to own it, to be honest. But there could be some money made in the very short term, which as a trader, yes, I'm going to be watching it for that exact reason. And Airbnb is one that I would own for the long term. This is one that I would consider buying if the price is right, which at this point, I mean, you could argue this is a pretty good price, $150. You can make that argument. It's down 32% from its high at about 220. It's not near its low, though. The low is at 120. It's currently about 19% higher than 120. And the lower it gets, or rather the closer it gets to 120, that is where I'd consider buying a little bit. And I'm not telling you all I'm going to load the boat and put half my portfolio in Airbnb, but I would consider maybe putting how many shares would I buy? I might buy $2,000 worth originally, or maybe a couple thousand, 3,000 at first, and see what it does. And I'd probably hold it as a long-term investment and just average in over time. And again, this is one I would consider owning, Airbnb for the long-term. DoorDash, not so much. And both of them I'm looking at as a trade as well, though, because Airbnb has earnings coming up on the 13th. It's also oversold, I'd say. It just hit a lower low. It's down about 20% just in the past couple of days, guys. So this, I think, with earnings coming up, maybe we get a snapback towards the higher hundreds. I'd like to see that. And Coinbase is another example of an IPO, which I didn't have listed for this video, but now that we're on this topic, look, Coinbase got very hot, went to the mid 400s. Well, 430 is not really mid, but whatever. It went to 430, right? It opened up. The initial price was like 250. It opened up way higher than that, and now we're all the way down to 250 again. So this is one that I've been buying on the way down. They also report earnings this week on the 13th. So Coinbase, I'm watching it. I own this, and this is one that I do believe in longer term. I think they have first mover advantage, and a lot of people would argue Voyager's better. There's going to be another cryptocurrency brokerage or exchange that comes out that ends up eliminating fees, and it's way better, it's smoother, less clunky, whatever, and that could very well happen. But as of now, I still believe Coinbase is the top dog, and let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. And the next stock here we're watching is Virgin Galactic. They report earnings this upcoming week, and they're actually reporting tomorrow, guys. And as per filing with the FCC, Virgin Galactic has now requested permission to use in-flight radio frequencies between the 14th of May and the 14th of November. And in other words, what that means is their test flight window is here. It's here. It's in 5 days, which is one step closer to getting Richard Branson up into space. And this is what we need to see as shareholders of Virgin Galactic. And this is a company that I own. You guys know that. My average is about $19, $20 right now. And the truth is, guys, I rode this thing all the way to 60 and I rode it right back down. And the reason why I did that is because this is a long-term investment for me, 5-10 years. I'm looking at it as a speculative play. I'm not really looking to just sell out of it for a quick 3x, although it might never even touch $60 again. That's the risk I ran by not selling, and I'm not regretting it whatsoever, to be honest. I mean, I think if Virgin Galactic pans out 5-10 years from now, this could easily go back to 60, and it could go over $100 in my opinion. So I'm holding on for the long term, and quite frankly, guys, I have such a small amount in Virgin Galactic that I don't even care that I missed out on the 3x, whatever. You know, I'm just going to ride it out, and we're just going to hold on, guys. And you guys can see the pattern here on Virgin Galactic is a head and shoulder, which is clear as day. We have the left, we have the head, we have the right here. And I'm going to see if we end up holding that low from the beginning towards the end of October, beginning of November. That is going to be a support that I'm watching for this upcoming week, right? We're right around it now. We're a little bit above 1960. So let's see if we get some sort of recovery on Virgin Galactic into earnings. I'm very excited about this, and this company's been hit so hard. At this point, I feel like how much lower could it go, right? And if it does dip, let's say it dips to the mid-teens, I'd be looking to buy more, quite honestly. You know, just because I'm not selling it doesn't mean I'm not buying it either. I'd buy more. Why not? I'd buy maybe another 100 shares if it were to go to like $15 just for the long term as a speculative play. So Virgin Galactic, I'm still in, guys. I'm still long and strong. Don't worry, I'm not dumping out on you guys. So let's get into the next one, which is LMND, ticker symbol LMND. This one's also reporting earnings very soon here on the, what is this, the 12th? And this is one that has been slammed, and I mean slammed, guys, from 188 to where it is now. It's down 60%, and we just hit a lower low in the downtrend at about $71, and we saw a pretty nice recovery on Friday, up about 4%. So with earnings coming up, I'm just going to be watching it. You know, if we end up breaking out of the overall downwards channel, you know, that would be a time to get in my opinion. And by the way, guys, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to buy. You must always do your research, but I'm thinking a big trend change is going to come if we break above $90. That is the sticking point right now for LMND. So I'm going to set an alert right at 90. That's right by the resistance of the downtrend and overall the moving averages as well. So watch LMND for this week. And Disney's one that's also been in a rut, which I believe if they blow out these Disney Plus numbers, and I'm on record saying it now, I very well could be wrong, but you guys know I've been wrong before, but I've also been right. And I'm thinking if they blow out these numbers for Disney Plus, this one could go back to $200. You heard me say it right now on record. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, guys. You know this. I could very well be wrong, but I have a feeling, right? I have a feeling with these earnings coming up, and maybe there's going to be hype into the earnings. So I'm excited about Disney. I'm a shareholder. This is a long-term position for me, and I don't plan on selling it anytime soon. I mean, I could easily picture myself 10 years from now still owning Disney, not selling a single share, but only buying shares to add to my position. And who knows, I might add a little bit this week. And you guys on Patreon, of course, get all my buy and sell alerts, my call outs, and you get a bunch of other perks, and that's down below if you guys are interested. So I'm looking at Disney under these moving averages. The second it breaks 188, I think we're going to make a move. So let's see. I'm going to put an alert at 188, and we'll see what happens from there. And the last one for today, guys, is Tattooed Chef, which is also in a downtrend. And I literally don't think we covered a single stock in this video that is looking quite bullish other than Disney. That Disney chart was the best chart of the day, I'd say. And we're going to cover them anyways, guys, because I believe a lot of these could end up being movers this week. So Tattooed Chef is one I also own. You guys can see it's in a wedge, lower highs, also making higher lows. And they just got a pretty nice deal. They bought 2 facilities as of late for about $35 million, and this long term they believe could bring in hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue to the business. So I think that was a very smart acquisition. They're looking to start making more Mexican products, right? Which, guys, oh my gosh, I love Mexican food. I'm Greek, right? You know, I like Greek food. I like Italian food as well. And Mexican's my third. That's my third option. And sometimes I like Mexican food way more than Greek and Italian food, I'll be honest. And I'm excited about Tattooed Chef because of that, because I'm going to get a lot of their products. And yeah, we're going to watch him move maybe up towards the 18, 19 range, right around the 180 moving average here. And you guys can see Tattooed Chef did have a nice day on Friday, up 2.6%. So maybe some of that green continues, and that's what I'm going to be watching. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Let me know down below in the comments, what are your top stocks for this week and any thoughts you have on this video. And make sure to get yourself some free money while you're at it. 2 stocks from WeBull. Those are valued up to $1,600. All you have to do is deposit $100. You could also get $30 from M1 Finance by also depositing $100, and both of those are linked right down below. Same with my Patreon. If you all want to support me more, get exclusive perks, that is linked down below. Or you can simply go to patreon.com/DoSurFest. That's patreon.com/DoSurFest. I'll see you all there. Thanks for watching. As always, keep crushing the markets, guys. Stay safe out there. Peace out.